Hi, I'm Alana. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're doing a get ready with me for church. So today I would like to start with a book recommendation. The book that I'm going to be recommending to you today is called Devotions by Lucy Caldwell. So I was just like strolling through Waterstones and I came across this book, and I have heard people talk about it before. So I was like, let's check this out. And it's basically like, it's fiction, and it's 8 separate short stories. And the first one is about this girl, and she's like 25, and she has this man who she's like in love with, but they're not exactly boyfriend and girlfriend, but they are in like a theatre group together, and so they do all these plays together, and they're doing Hamlet together, and then they like do all their lines together, and it's like devastatingly romantic, and he's like really perfect and they're in love, and then he gets sick, and then he like dies, and then he wants her to like carry on the show, and so this other guy plays Hamlet instead, and then she like, well, I won't give away everything because I've already kind of just given away everything from the first story, but yeah, it's like it's about her like moving on after this man whom she was in love with dies when they're like really young, and it's about like how hard it is loving someone else after that. And yeah, so that's the first story, and then the second story is about like, oh, they're also all in Ireland, I believe. At least, like, that's how it's written. Like, everyone in the book is Irish. So, yeah, it's just about, like, 8 separate stories that deal with different, like, matters of the heart. There's kind of, like, a theme of emotional insight. And just, like, things that people deal with in like intimate relationships. And so yeah, it's really like devastating. It's really devastating so far, and I really love that in a book. I really love books to be devastating, so I highly recommend that book, Devotions by Lucy Caldwell. I also want to briefly share a podcast recommendation. So this is an interview I listened to the other night, and it's probably the most fascinating interview I have ever heard in my life. So it's with Tucker Carlson interviewing this man called like Douglas Cooper or something like that. I'll link it in the description. And the man who he's interviewing is an historian. And so like they talk about the history of Epstein, and like what is Epstein's background, and like who, you know, like how did he get to the position that he was in. And it's basically that like, it was so interesting. So it says that Epstein his first job was as a teacher, like a math teacher in New York City, I think, at this really prestigious school, which is strange because like he didn't have any degrees, or any experience. So he worked as a math teacher at that school, and then his mansion, like his $70 million mansion in Manhattan, that was apparently like given to him by Les Wexner. He just like gave him a mansion in Manhattan, which is strange, and that's where a lot of his shenanigans took place. And like it talks about how he has like ties to the CIA and to Mossad, but like it's not like he's a CIA agent or like anything specific like that. It's more like he's a freelancer. And he talks about how like everyone who knew Epstein, which was like everyone, called his private plane the Lolita Express. And oh yeah, he talks about how like the people in his circle were like desensitized to these things by they would have like the wealthy people who hung out with Epstein and hung out in the same circles, they would have this like really strange artwork in their houses of like, you know, really strange like child's mismusive kind of depictions. And yeah, so he talks about how like that kind of desensitized people to the reality of what Epstein was doing. And it's, yeah, the single most fascinating interview I've ever heard. It's with Tucker Carlson and an historian, and I'll link it in the description below. So thank you for getting ready with me for church today. You're beautiful, you're perfect, I love you, God bless you, goodbye.